So, over the past year, I found myself falling in and out of cycles of productivity until I honestly decided that enough was enough. In the past month, I looked and I identified everything that I did when I was at my most productive and created the ultimate productivity routine. In today's video, we will be talking about productivity habits and how I manage my time and day in order to get the most done in the least amount of time, and just how you can too. So when it comes to productivity, I think the phrase work smarter, the phrase work smarter, not harder is one that comes to mind. As much as the phrase makes sense, it does not apply to everyone, because quite frankly, some people just understand things, whilst other people don't. I could be so good at maths, be able to study it or get a piece of work done in an hour, whereas the same thing might take someone else 3 hours. So realistically, work smarter, not harder, generically cannot apply to everyone, and that's one thing I've realized when it comes to productivity. With that being said, I notice when I watch videos on productivity, there's this assumption that everyone sort of can study the same to achieve the same goal, and that's being productive. But there's a lack of realization that we as people cannot do that. Like it's just not realistic. So when I'm looking at videos and people have like this 10-step process productivity system, how is that realistically going to work for everyone? So with that being said, I have put together the best productivity system that isn't just for myself but can be applicable to anyone. And you'll see throughout this video that you can make things tailored to yourself as your individual to make the best productivity system. A key thing is that productivity is the difference between how much you do versus how much you accomplish. If you think about that for a second, I used to always think that me being busy all the time means I'm being productive, when that doesn't need to be the case. Me spending 8 hours on work does not mean I'm being productive, when I could spend half that amount of time and still get the same thing done. So make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. So the first step when it comes to productivity is defining your goals. And this entails having clear goals in mind and knowing what matters to you the most. Having clear and specific goals that you're trying to achieve is essential, because it means that whilst you're doing something or working towards something, you know that this thing will help me reach this destination that I want. It's like if you're aiming to run a marathon, if you know you're training 3 times a week and then you up it to 5 times a week, you know that if I keep running and training, I will get to the stage where I'm able to complete this marathon. And that's the whole logic behind it. It's knowing that what I'm doing for myself now will essentially help me be one step closer towards the final goal. Having clear and specific goals that you know that this is what you want to achieve is the first place we should start at. And I think a useful place to start out when it comes to looking at our goals and defining our goals is using SMART. This stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. No matter what your goal is, you can apply the acronym SMART to achieving this. And it's really helped me over the past month look at how I'm doing things in order to reach my final destination. Let's put this into practice. What is the goal you want to achieve? Is it you want to achieve a grade in an essay? Is it you want to be able to have this skill in your sport by this certain time? Is it that you want to be able to run 10 kilometers in a certain amount of time? That is your goal. That is the specific goal you're looking to achieve. Now we look at measurable. So how are you able to measure this goal? Is it measurable when you know that you've completed an essay plan? Is it measurable when you know that your time is increasing? Is it measurable by knowing that this is the figure that you need to reach by that specific time? Once you've accomplished or decided on that, we move on to A, which is achievable. Now, is our goal achievable? I think realistically, whatever you set your mind to, you can achieve it. But also, it's essential to put less pressure on yourself. So looking at how you can achieve this goal. So my plan to achieving this goal would be through allocating specific days and times to when I want to get it done. So say I have an essay due on February the 30th, random day, and I get told about this on February the 15th. I know that I ideally have 2 weeks to complete the essay. So my achievable means would be that I would say by February the 18th, I will have my essay plan done, or by the week after, I will have half the essay written. That's looking at how you're looking to achieve it. Relevant is seeing, is the goal, is it relevant to you? Like, does it matter to you? And if it is, then let's continue to pursue it. And T stands for timely. So how much time will I need to do this? So look at how much time you'll need to achieve the goal that you want to accomplish. I would say just have it in the back of your mind that if you put something down that you're looking to achieve, this exam, or you're going to study for a test, or you want to get a task done, have in the back of your mind these specific words will help you become one step closer to setting realistic expectations for yourself. Finding your prime time window, I could say, is one of the best ways to ensure that you're productive. So mine might not be the same as yours, but that does not mean you cannot apply this to yourself. So if you're a night owl, then the best time for you to probably work is at night. However, me like to believe I'm an early bird, so I try and put the most tasking tasks for myself in that time in the morning. That's my prime time window. So I will put the most demanding tasks during this time. Slotting in your most demanding tasks at these times means that you're able to get the work done quicker because you are at basically high alert. Like, let's think of ourselves as birds, but putting your most demanding tasks in at these times during your prime time window means that you're going to get the work done better and faster because you're focused, less distracted, and set on accomplishing it during this period of time. During this prime time window, I would still recommend try and put the harder tasks still at the beginning. So the hardest task or the most important task at the start of your prime time window. If you don't get anything else done, at least you've done the most important thing of the day during that time. And of course, which we'll speak about later, do not forget to prioritize your breaks as well. Make sure you get it in there. Like, you have to. Eliminating distractions. Let us talk about that. This is my second forte. If there's anything I know how to do, is get distracted. I could be sitting down doing work and suddenly something pops up in my head and I'm searching it, or I'm looking for this email, or I'm on Instagram all of a sudden. So eliminating distraction has been one of the things that I've worked on to stay my most productive. So when it comes to this, I think identifying common distractions such as social media, email, and phone notifications, and seeing what is your trigger. For me, I think seeing notifications is my biggest trigger because it just reminds me, oh, this person's available or this person's awake. When I'm working, I put my phone on do not disturb, and this is a blessing and a curse. As long as you make sure to turn your do not disturb off after you're doing whatever you're doing, because I cannot tell the amount of times I've forgotten to check my emails and respond to something. That has been one of my key ways in eliminating distractions. Whilst some people say that eliminating distractions is just getting rid of it completely, I feel like the same way people say don't cut off sugar like all at once is the same way you shouldn't cut off your distractions all at once. I'd say make time in the day to, look at the things that you do want to do. If you know that at the end of me doing this work schedule from 1 to 2 hours, you have 5 to 10 minutes to go on social media or check your phone notifications or respond to some text messages, you know that you've got something to work towards at the end of the day. I'd say my main tips in this area in eliminating distractions is turn off your notifications and work in a quiet space. Also, clean your desk up. I like not having anything other than my laptop and my monitor and any textbooks I need when I'm studying, and that's why I just like having a clean and tidy space. Organizing and planning can arguably be said to be my forte. Like, it's my specialty. Call me praise and you will say planning is me. Prioritizing tasks through constructing or planning out your day, the day of, the morning of, the night before, the week before, the month before is essential. So planning what I need to get done the next day, the night before, or the morning of has helped me. Having in mind what you know you're going to be doing or what you need to get done for the next day stops you from having to sort everything out the morning of, which effectively wastes time for you, and also just means that you can wake up, shower, work out, do what you need to do, and just get started with your day instead of having to plan out and construct when things need to get done. Of course, it is important to leave room or time for changes that can happen, but you are reducing stress and allowing you to have more time in the morning if you just set out 10 to 15 minutes the night before to sort out what you're doing the next day. So each night I spend 15 to 30 minutes dedicating time to planning out what I need to get done for the next day. What are my biggest priorities and what are some things I'd like to do to, get my self-care on. Some tips I would use is group small tasks together in a certain block of time. So if you need to do something quick like send emails or take out the trash or do the laundry, put a block of 1 hour in your calendar to say that these are when you're going to get the small tasks or the small mini tasks out of the way. I think a key thing, especially for this, is think what you can do for yourself now that will help you in the future. A lot of the time when I'm doing things where I'm like, why am I doing this now? It's not due anytime soon. I am so much happier, or 10 times happier, when it gets to closer to a deadline or something and I'm like, actually I'm prepared, like I did all of this in advance. Think of future you, and that can help change your mindset tremendously. Some tips I would have for staying organized is buying a planner or purchasing a planner, or using your notes app on your phone, or getting a piece of paper. I like having all my to-dos together, so I have my own like set productivity system, which I sorted out really towards the end of last year. I couldn't be happier with it. It has helped me sort out my life completely. If you would like another video on that, let me know and I'd be happy to share that with you. But some common things people use in order to plan out their day, plan out tasks, include Notion, Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, Todoist, TickTick's another big one. Yeah, I use some of these apps and I use other apps as well. These are just some of the recommendations which I would give you if you're looking to make some changes. Okay, let's be honest, how long do you really expect yourself to be working for? At any point that you want to have a productive day, an essential element of it is taking breaks and also having check-ins with yourself. I think breaks are so important to have whilst you're working because it helps you actually maintain focus on the task that you're looking to do and also prevents burnout. This system has stopped me from getting burnt out, which I can say once again is one of my weaknesses. Through putting in active breaks during my schedule and either going on a walk, reading a book, or simply just breathing, literally breathing, going downstairs and speaking to someone, getting yourself some food. It's essential to take your breaks, and it would not be right of me to continue on this video without mentioning this. So make sure to take your breaks, whether you take short 5-minute breaks after completing a task and then taking a big 1 hour lunch, or 1 hour 30 minutes lunch to do something fun for yourself. Just make sure you do it no matter what form it is in. I'd say if you do work on your computer a lot, it might be beneficial to take a break away from a screen. So out of everything, I'd say think about these two things: consistency and perseverance. Whilst I know everyone's big on productivity, I will say I love it and also hate it. Like, it's not all the time you need to be productive, and no one should ever beat themselves down for not being productive. I found myself last year feeling like I don't know why I can't be productive, but it just wasn't working, which is when I started putting everything I've said in this video into practice. I'm so much happier. That's how I'm able to film more. That's how I'm able to find time to edit, because I've put this system in place for myself, and that's why I thought it's essential for me to share it with you today. Implement these different strategies in order to improve yourself and your productivity, and even just improve your life. But realistically, if I just plan my time wisely and correctly, I will find time for the things I love and also for the things that I have to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found it useful. For now, it's been your girl Praise. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next week with another video. Go, 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 shorty. It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip